It's what every good podcast needs, you know? Just a little, what is this even called? Oh, a little phasing bells. That's when I woke up today and I was like, I really want to listen to some phasing bells. And you're delivering that, you know? Really making it happen. This is making really good content. Really good content.
Listen, we had to have some kind of an intro for this
there had to be some kind of intro.
Right,
because,
so I just figured I'd get on here and just do a little bit of...
Yeah, because if I put that
Honestly,
in post...
I was waiting for you to start freestyling on it.
Oh, yeah. You want to give me a little beat?
Yeah, I got you.
You want to give me a little beat while you MIDI?
I got you.
Right. Chilling with my boy Eric, but we not in the... Well, you can't change the beat up on me like that. You just messed up my whole flow, bro. That was going somewhere.
I was
going somewhere.
I was on the... I turned on
we were getting out of the studio with that one. That was going somewhere. What you drinking tonight?
Just a little Baja Blast.
Baja Blast?
Just a little Baja Blast. What are you drinking tonight over there, sir?
I am actually drinking my personal drink of choice, a Baja Blast.
I got you. I'm just checking some levels.
Not a sponsor. Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor at all.
Not yet.
We wish they were.
Not yet. Taco Bell, if you're listening.
Taco Bell, please.
Taco Bell, listen. We have there's a lot of viewers right now. There's two. There's 2 whole viewers right now. 2 listeners.
Taco Bell, I need you to imagine this, right? This podcast specifically, but with the deluxe cravings box sitting right here.
Paid for free.
For free.
For free advertising.
You don't have to send us the Lux box. We'll go buy
the cost of the advertising would be 1 cravings box.
And it's only $7.14. I had one today for lunch, actually.
Yeah, that's basically free. It's free.
Are you a fan of the whole 90s, like 80s, 70s throwback they're doing right now?
Okay, I have something to say about this.
Okay. Hit me.
I feel like they could be bringing back more than they're doing with what they're doing. You know, like they're making a big deal out of it, but I feel like they haven't. Maybe they just need to get the 2000s before it's like something that I remember. Yeah. But like, because I wasn't around then, so like I'm not getting crazy excited because I wasn't here in the 70s and the 80s.
I will say I'm a fan of the way the cups look, but because I get a large Baja Blast every time, like I get a large cup, right?
I do. Well,
so I don't get to enjoy the fancy cup.
Yeah, 10 cents.
Really?
It's only 10 cents to get a large.
It's
honestly, a no-brainer.
That's a deal.
That may be different in person.
Now, but you want to know what's also a deal right now? Wendy's $1 any size. And
absolutely.
Their large is like
size.
an extra large for most people.
Absolutely. Wendy's lets you see the drink too.
They do.
Clear. It's clear.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
Peppermint Frosty or the new salted caramel Frosty?
Yeah, I'm gonna stop you right there and say scratch all that and get the peppermint frosted coffee from Chick-fil-A because it's better than that.
Or if you're in the Albany area, you can come to Cornerstone Coffee Co. I'll make you a white mocha peppermint latte.
Shout out to Cornerstone Coffee.
That
is unofficial sponsor.
Unofficial sponsor.
We absolutely at one point. So when we have guests on, we have some things in the works. We have some plans already.
We do.
We're definitely going to be having some, friends and family of Cornerstone Coffee on at one point. So watch out for that. This is the pre-workout. I'm Dylan.
I'm Eric.
And what we're doing here, so this is the pre-workout because, so we work out on Mondays and on Thursdays, right? Most of the time we just end up going on Mondays. But we say we work out on Mondays and Thursdays because maybe once a month we actually get in twice a week.
I got a Thursday workout in last week, actually. And it was, honestly, I was crushing.
You did. I was a little busy.
You were a little busy.
Important things were
happening. You had things to handle.
I did.
You had, as they say, business.
There was business to be done. Business was taken care of. Business was attended to.
Business was, honestly, I'm kind of a fan.
We're good.
I'm kind of a fan of this thing we're doing right now, where we don't actually have microphone stands. We're just holding the thing.
No,
I'm kind of a fan.
What you're getting the real thing.
This is genuine.
This is genuine.
This is real.
This is right.
Audience, this is real.
This is real. Yeah. We're not, out here mic stands.
Listen, we can't all be professional podcasters out here,
What's in front of me is the computer, and that's, you know what? You know what shows that we're real? This is PV.
That's PV. Also, if we listen,
PV.
Full transparency, that thing's not even plugged in right now.
No, that is to look like I have something to do.
Honestly, we have tried every configuration we can think of to make that thing work, and it just doesn't.
We did. No, it doesn't. It doesn't work.
If you're watching this and you have a PV6,
I'm judging you.
Mixer, and you know how to make it work, hit your boys up. Because I want to throw this thing in a river, but I'm not, because God bless the person that gave it to us for free.
That's right. That you know who you are. Shout out.
Shout out.
If
we say shout out enough, then they'll know that they've been shouted
they'll
out.
know. No, they know who they are. They know who they are. Right. So we try to plug this thing in, right? Eric looks up a YouTube video. I said, probably not going to help. It didn't help. He gets out the instructions. I said, probably going to learn so much from that. Learn so much. I just now have, you remember how long it took me to set up the monitors in the music room?
Okay, for context, at the church we go to, shout out Christ Church of
Albany.
Shout out Christ
Church. Both members,
actually.
Members.
At the church we go to, Christ Church of Albany, here in the beautiful city of Albany, Georgia. We set up this thing called the music room. What it is, as you know, this is we're tonight we're going to be doing a music review for the band Department 12's new release.
They didn't know that.
They didn't know that yet. Well, you found out now.
Spoiler alert.
We
are Apartment 12.
We are Apartment 12, right? So, but also, he's in a band called Pierce for the Broken. They have a music room at the church. They do heavy metal. And I guess if I play bass for them, then technically I'm a member. But
yeah, let's talk about that for a minute too.
Oh yeah.
Kind of before we get into the album and the process that we
can
went
do
into,
the music journey.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about like what our musical influences are, because that's going to be a lot of good context. Because you mentioned right now Pierce for the Broken.
I want a quick pause. What we should have done,
yes,
if we were thinking about it, next episode, we put the microphones right up on these things as we crack them open. That's on us.
Scrap the whole thing. We're going to start over next week, and
actually pause. We can cut the recording, right, and then we can go get new ones, and we can act like it's the beginning of the episode again.
We could do that. We're balling on a budget here, though, and I'm going to drink this whole thing.
We're not going to fix that in post.
Please pay for free Baja Blast so that we can open these into the mics.
We would love it so much.
We would, but you mentioned heavy metal.
We would love it,
and it's actually not something that I'm sorry, I'll stop. I'm over here being so serious right now, and he's got a toy in front of him that he has to use.
He's not wrong,
right? So heavy metal, not something that I actually have a big background in. So I don't have any background in it at all. It's one of those things where I've always been a more traditional 4-chord guitar based, from a band standpoint, from a music standpoint. I've always said, I have kind of a breakdown with this, and it's genre fluent. It can go between, any genre can kind of fit the criteria, where it's really, guitar based, simple structured music with what would traditionally be called, pop vocals, right? Where you're kind of not really in that kind of screamo zone. But what's nice about it is Steven, shout out Steven, our boy Chapel, right? Those guys have a big background in metal. So what's cool about that project is that may actually end up being kind of this mesh, of my more traditional background, their background, and a little bit heavier music, and we might be able to create something cool.
You could, really could. I think it'll be fun. I think we could just get into the music journey real quick. Of full transparency, as of this recording I looked at this like it was my Apple Watch. This is my Amazon watch.
Shout out that one. That was $30.
$32. Company Buerei.
Buerei.
It's spelled Buerei.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that I hopefully I'm phonetically pronouncing that right. I could be wrong.
Yeah. So tonight, Eric is wearing Burai.
Yes.
I'm wearing Tally and Twine. This is an incredible watch.
It is.
And I just want to point out the quality. Shout out Burai, because that's a nice metal watch, and it didn't cost him $250, and this cost me $0.
Yep.
Because it was shout out. You know who you are.
Yep.
A lot of overlap there.
We got connections.
We do.
We got connections.
I think about 3 out of the 4 shout outs we've given is basically the same 2 people.
Listen, it's we're a part of this little family, and we are truly blessed to have all the things that we have. Part of which is, part of that's honestly in the music journey, because about 4 months ago, I texted Dylan. I said, "Hey man, you think you could teach me how to play guitar?" And he said, "No problem."
He did.
So in the span of the past 4 months after this recording on November 25th in the year of our Lord and Savior 2024, I have now been playing guitar for 4 months, and we've written and recorded 4 songs.
That's right.
And we're actually reworking the song "Back to Your House" to have a more acoustically refined version, if you will.
Which was actually the original way that song was created.
It was. So background on that song, "Back to Your House," we've got the full band mix up there. But originally and canonically between the two of us, that song is called "Back to Yorn House," because when it was saved in the Apple Music library, there was a little bit of a typo. So canonically, that song is "Back to Yorn House," not "Back to Your House."
And what's funny about that, let's be clear. I have terrible vision, right? And the part of the story we haven't gotten to yet is we also recorded this in Hurricane Helene.
Yes, we did.
Shout out Hurricane Helene.
I don't know if we need to shout that out.
Shout out.
Listen, we're just thankful that Hurricane Helene was a tragedy for a lot of people. But
yes, we don't want to downplay that.
It was projected to be a lot worse.
We got really lucky,
and we were super blessed, super lucky.
I slept right through it.
I can't remember if I went home that night or not.
No. You
that's right.
Remember that was Hurricane Party.
Right, that was Hurricane Party. We were like, the original plan was going to be like, hey, we're going to be up to like 2 a.m. recording, and then it was like 10 o'clock and
for the hurricane. And then, of course, when we got it was like 11 p.m., something like that. And then I know I went to sleep at like midnight, woke up at 6 a.m. It was all over. It never even happened.
I was watching. I think it's Ryan Hall on YouTube, who does some really good storm tracking coverage. I was watching him for a little bit into the night.
Yes, that was I liked that. I was not familiar with him.
Job,
yeah, that was really good because he had 8 screens, 8 cameras,
6 or 8 different screens, just giving you different live feeds of hurricane footage going on. Or
are those actually his cameras too?
I'm not sure.
Or is he tapping into something else?
It could be CCTV, but
he's sending people out there.
Right. He does have a network of storm chasers.
It's pretty cool.
Honestly, pretty cool profession. Which, just a quick sidebar.
Right.
I recently watched the movie Twisters.
Okay. The original one? Or the new one?
The new one with Glenn Powell.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yes.
And I have to say, it was a really good movie. What I appreciated about that movie, no profanity.
Okay.
As far as I remember, no profanity. There may have been a couple of words in there.
I got to be honest. I got to be honest.
No sex. So it was just a clean, fun movie about people chasing tornadoes.
I mean, what's the point?
He's having a funny, guys. He's having a funny.
This is a Christian podcast. Don't let the first 5 minutes set you astray. Listen, so
back on track.
I got to be honest though, real quick.
Okay, real quick.
If you saw multiple twisters that big, your human instinct would probably be to let a little profanity fly.
Oh, absolutely. But also, if you're
on the accidental.
On the accidental. If you're a man of the internet, though,
right.
The Florida man meme.
Yeah.
This is the South.
Yeah.
We don't run from hurricanes.
No.
We stand outside with a 12-gauge shotgun and say, I can take this thing down.
Or we record original music for the first time.
Or we do that, which is
how we did that. See what you brought that back? So
call that full circle,
that's
baby.
Right. So we, it would really help if I could stop turning my mic off. This is the first episode.
This is the first episode. Give it the Growing Pains.
This is the first
Growing Pains.
Growing Pains. That was a TV show, I believe, in the 90s or 80s when Taco Bell was serving those things originally.
Ooh. Circling back again to Taco Bell. Also, Growing Pains, a song by my friend Hannah Barnes.
Shout out Hannah Barnes.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the one we listened to in the car? before we served food? One of those Fridays. You pulled up on Spotify.
No,
we
that
listened
was
to
that was one of my former students.
Cody's niece or something.
No. That was
just-
one of our former students from Roots Youth Group.
Shout out that person.
Yeah,
That was really good.
I can't remember her. No,
It was like llamas.
no,
foxes,
no.
or it was something. It was like all one
a
word.
completely different band.
That is. I was following the. I was following the. I was following the. I was following the. I don't know.
I don't know the words.
I don't know any more words. But do I sing it every time it comes on? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
I mean,
that part, and then
absolutely.
after the first 8 seconds are over, I'm out.
But so back to your house. Actually,
Yes.
we recorded it during a hurricane, and it was quite the recording process. This microphone here next to Dylan was the original microphone that we used to recorded it.
This is a Fifine gaming microphone from Amazon. It does serve its purpose, so shout out Fifine.
And
it's not.
It's not a recording mic.
It's not a condenser mic. It's
not. I mean, typically, neither of these are like professional condenser mics, but they are studio quality enough mics.
Right.
They're good for live performance, which means we can plug it into that little stand over there that's probably 100% off screen. But,
What's cool about this too, as another side note, when you're talking about our music that we actually put out, we recorded on that microphone.
We did, this microphone right here.
So good enough.
And honestly, the audio quality is pretty dang good.
It's
if you're
pretty
asking
good.
Me.
It's pretty good.
Maybe at some point in the future we'll spend $250 that we don't need to spend on a microphone on a microphone.
Absolutely. Easy. So we actually recorded it on this microphone, right?
We did.
Right here.
And it wasn't the Stratocaster that we recorded on. It was, I believe we used the Telecaster for that.
Yes, we used my Tele for that.
We did use the
That's
Tele.
currently at the church, serving a higher purpose.
Sidebar on that real quick. The Stratocaster that has a crack in it is the one that we have used to record all the other songs, even though he has a really nice Telecaster. It's at the
Right.
church.
So this Stratocaster back here is actually the first guitar ever. I think I got it in 2013 or 14, and it was used. It's got the Stratocaster crack, like most Strats do after a certain amount of time. It is significantly in worse shape. The Tele is really nice, and it's like I said, it's been serving a higher purpose.
Sidebar about the Tele. The Tele strap is not trustworthy, and last week it almost got dropped.
I got some strap locks that I've yet to actually put on, and that absolutely got dropped. Oh, almost got dropped. Right?
It almost got dropped.
I wasn't here that day.
Chappell called it like an absolute madman that he is.
Nice.
And then we proceeded to say we could just sit down for the rest of the set just in case.
So what I think we should do is
we still haven't given the full context of the Back to Your House.
Yes, let's finish that.
We got to finish that first.
And we're actually going to pull up. I'm going to start working on actually pulling up Back to Your House.
Because like we said, we recorded it, and it's still actually my screensaver on my phone. Hurricane Sessions, Eric Steenley and Dylan Ware, Alternative 2024. Because like we said, we recorded it through GarageBand, and the way we had to record the guitar was through Guitar Hero or?
No, it's still GarageBand.
So the quarter-inch to USB cord.
Oh yeah! Shout out Rocksmith 2013 for the PlayStation 3. I still had the USB to to 1/4 cable from that, and that's how I used to mess around and record stuff, like when I was just in my bedroom growing up. And I still had that cable made it all the way from Auburn to over here somehow.
And that's how we recorded that guitar.
Yep.
That's how we recorded that guitar, and the following week on the same version of Back to Your House.
Oh,
on the same week on Back to Your House, we recorded my Yamaha APX 600. I believe so. I don't.
Yes.
Because I don't think Old Smokey went on that recording.
Because when we re-recorded it, so we recorded. I think we recorded my electric part first.
We did.
And then we would have layered that on. So we're going to go into Back to Your House now. We're actually going to pull this up, and we're going to talk about some more. We're going to do this with all the songs. We're going to go top to bottom on the EP. Apartment 12 EP. We are Apartment 12. Eric, you want to talk a little bit more about about learning guitar?
Yeah. But my guitar journey was, like I said, about 3-4 months ago. Asked Dylan, "Hey, teach me guitar," and he said, "Okay, cool. Here's the first thing you're going to learn." The key of G, and all you're really going to learn is G, C, D, and E minor. So for about a week, I took my guitar that I lovingly call El Cheapo.
Right.
It is a Lancro guitar that I bought on Amazon that has the worst action in the world. Terrible action. Spent an entire week doing nothing but every chance I could get playing that crappy little guitar.
He really did. Like at least multiple hours a day.
Absolutely 2 to
we're
3 hours a
talking
day.
at work. Mm-hmm. Work, you didn't hear that?
I would play it on my lunch break.
And only on the lunch break.
Only on the lunch break.
Definitely not during work hours.
No, I did not
No
have time
work
for that.
hours were paid for him
took
to
like
learn guitar.
10 minutes to get the thing to where I could play it in the truck.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely
Did not
no
have
work
time.
hours devoted to that whatsoever.
No.
And yeah, to all the credit, you learned in about a month.
About a month. Because by the end of the week, I had the shapes down. And then the thing after I had the shapes down, he said, "Okay, cool. You're going to learn this top string, which I'm going to teach you guys now. If I can not yank this thing out." So if we start all the way on the open, and what I mean when I say open is if I press down here, the string is no longer open. But if I don't have anything pressed down, then the string is open. So on open, on the standard tuning, this 6-string or 1-string, depending on how you learned, if you learned, this is open, this is E. And then we go from E to F sharp to G sharp to A sharp to B to C sharp to D sharp to E.
Fantastic.
He had
Good.
me memorize that pattern because he said once I learned the shapes, so once you do that, you make a G chord shape. He said once you've learned that shape and you've learned that you know that this is G, if you put a capo, which is essentially just it's a little bar. We don't have it in here. I think it's
There's no fewer than 3 in this apartment, but
it'll be okay.
I don't know where they're at.
Essentially, a capo acts like the bar, like right there. What my finger's doing, that is what a capo acts like. But
Correct.
you can just clamp it on there, essentially. And he said, once you've learned those 2 basic things, you can take that capo and slap it anywhere. So, for instance, if I had that capo on 2 and I was still making the same shape, all of a sudden this G chord becomes an A chord. And it's the cheater's way to play guitar, but it's also really convenient for when you just want to pick a key and play.
That's right.
And that's kind of been my guitar journey. I went from having one really cheap, crappy guitar, affectionately named El Cheapo,
right,
to having that same guitar with
better action.
Better action. I don't know if it was professionally set up or not, but
it certainly sounds like it. You know,
I went from having
you kind of.
I got that guitar, and then the next week I got a guitar that is lovingly named Old Smoky.
Yes. Because that smelled like it was smoked by no fewer than 2,000 cigarettes.
Absolutely. It
smells like,
bad. It smelled so bad.
It was bad.
It was bad.
It was enough to fill up the whole apartment.
Yes.
And it went from, now these are smoke-free apartments, as most are nowadays, newer, right? If someone would have walked in, landlord-wise, and smelled that, they would have said, Dylan has been chain smoking
for sure
in here ever since he moved in.
Personally, I'm theorizing that the guy who had it before me, because I got this guitar on eBay for like $200.
Yep.
It's a like $700 guitar, but I got it for $200 because eBay's great like that sometimes.
Right.
Sometimes you can steal things from people, essentially.
Yeah. You know, thievery is not always, thievery's wrong.
I mean, it is.
But it is to your benefit.
I mean, they sold it to me for that price, so that's on them.
Listen, all things are permissible. Some of them are beneficial too. Like going on eBay.
Let's just keep it at, they sold it to us for that price.
They did.
Or to me for that
they
price.
Wanted it.
So
they asked for it.
That's on them.
They did. They really did.
That's on them.
They wanted it.
But now, so Old Smoky is a Takamine G series, and really nice, rich, dark kind of bass sound to it. Mm-hmm. But again, it smelled like somebody used the thing as an ashtray for 50 years.
That's right. I haven't heard it in a while. I kind of can't remember what it sounds like. It's been so long.
It has been a while.
Right.
Beautiful guitar. Honestly, looks really, really pretty.
It does.
Especially with the Ernie Ball rose strap that I got it.
Especially with the thick smoke ring.
Yes.
Within the rosewood, it really does something. It gives it that kind of.
So the way that we got the smell out of that guitar was that we threw car air fresheners in the case.
Shout out Splash Zone.
Yep.
It's new. It's awesome. I'm a monthly subscriber. Whenever the Grimesmobile comes through, it's me because I know you're listening. Splash Zone.
But we
That's
took
me.
that air freshener. I locked it in the case with the guitar for like 2 straight days, and then
That's right.
after that, it didn't smell bad, and I was able to play it on stage on church, and it was great.
Yep.
But
There's enough to get
after
by.
probably like 2 weeks, 3 weeks of playing that on stage, maybe my hands kept hurting because I had gotten so spoiled by the action on the gifted Yamaha. So I then proceeded to get another Yamaha. This one is an APX 600, and I call that one Sunday because I play it on Sundays.
It's probably the coolest. It's my favorite right now.
I miss Old Smokey right
Once
now.
Smokey gets finished, that
Yeah.
might be the best one. But
right now, that guitar is it's so easy to play. Action's
Yep.
really smooth.
Yep.
Onboard tuner and all that fun jazz.
so
And
everything other than Smokey is actually on the album. Everything is
Right.
on there, including the bass that I play as well. So
Right.
we're going to come back a little bit, and we're just going to talk about what, Back to Your House.
Okay.
Where did that come from? Why was that the first song we did? Obviously, it's the first
So,
one that you wrote.
that was the first
help put
chorus
music to.
/ bridge that I had written.
Yep.
I keep a journal on my journaling app, and I use Day One Journaling. I really recommend this app. It is really, really good.
Be a sponsor, day one.
For the longest time, I did not pay to use the full length of it.
Oh, he's a paying member.
So I'm a paying member.
paying
It's
member.
a yearly subscription, and I get access to as many journals as I want. They have a really cool
Give the man a
feature.
free subscription. Come on.
They have a really cool feature where if you have I have a theology journal. I have Gethsemane volumes, which are my personal volumes. I've got the Psalms of my life, which is where all
Right.
these songs are recorded at.
Yep.
And then I've got my teachings. A really cool feature on Day One is that if you click on one of your subsections of journals, there's an option where they can actually print it out in a book format. For
Oh
you.
yeah. See that is cool.
And that is really cool.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
But Back to Your House was originally the first thing I wrote was, Lord, I'm coming home, back to where I belong. Back to your house where I am your child, Lord, I'm coming home. That chorus was the first thing I wrote, and all these songs started off as just spontaneous moments of worship.
They really
right?
have, because you'll actually text me. I'll usually be at work, whatever. But you'll usually text me during the day, like, "Hey, this is
I'm
cooking.
kinda cooking,
I'm
yeah.
cooking this.
I'm cooking on
these
this,
lyrics
yeah.
up."
And
Yeah.
so Back to Your House, no different, right? That was the chorus that I had written for the longest time, but just never did anything with because I didn't know how to play guitar, right? I just knew how to put on a synth track and kind of free flow to it.
That's right.
Right? So,
And this is really where a lot of kind of musical influence comes in too, because Eric's definitely, at least from a writing standpoint, much more on the acoustic slower side. I pushed so hard for a full band song. I was like, I have to.
Yeah.
So I turned this into a full band song. We got the drum track.
well, I'm slowly coming around because as we keep recording these, we start out with the acoustics.
We do, which is that's a common thing.
We
in
start out
song
with the
building as
acoustics,
well.
and then we go, okay, what else can we put on this
That's right.
to just enhance it?
I love
Because
how
like
this turned out.
Victory,
Yeah.
originally we weren't even going to put a bass line on it. We weren't going to put a synth on it. We were like, no,
And it
acoustic
needed it.
and electric only because it sounds beautiful.
Yep.
But we put those two things on there, and it sounds absolutely gorgeous.
Fantastic.
It's a great song.
Fantastic.
And then with My Shepherd, we'll talk about that one when we get to it.
Oh, yeah.
Because that one's just so much fun.
It needs its own, but we're kind of coming to the part in this song again that builds up, and this let me really go crazy on like
It did.
the analytical, like the editing side.
Right.
I've always said if I wasn't a pharmacist, spoiler alert, I'm a pharmacist. If I wasn't one, I would do something like where I would sit behind a computer and like edit something. So whether that was like music mixing or whatever that might be. But this let me really sit there because I had so many tracks, different guitars. I think there's 5 different guitars playing right now.
If I remember right, I think we were on like mix 39 or something
Yeah,
before
there
we
was
finally got to the last
There
one.
was at least 20. I think it was. So I told Chapel I was going to stop at 24, and then I think I made one more where I re-recorded a little bit of the guitar that I wanted to be better. So I think we hit
And it
25
sounds
mixes.
really, really good.
Yeah,
It
over
sounds
about
really, really
2
good.
months. I spent by far the most time.
Absolutely.
On this one.
Well, so, part of the songwriting process, this Back to Your House was the first one. So a lot of Back to Your House was figuring out how to do this as we went.
Yep.
So by the time we got
did.
around
We really
to playing
learned
around,
how to get in the
Yeah.
studio and do this.
So by the time we
this
got
song.
around to Confession, it didn't take as long as to be like, well, we want to do this or we want to do that. we just kind of I came in with the vision for the song, and we just kind of took it, ran with it, and it took us maybe an hour or two to really lock down.
Let's play it.
So this is Confession. This one, again, started out as the bridge. And the bridge to this one, as I pull it up, because I remember my own lyrics.
That's right. That's part of being a band. I remember every note I played on this. We could play the whole thing live right now.
We could.
No practice at all. This one was one that Eric had fully written, and he had an idea of where he wanted to go musically with Back to Your House as far as chord structure goes.
Right.
There was none of that. There was no clue what we were going to do on Confession. Clue. I just kind of sat down and I was like, I really want something.
We were just noodling.
Open.
We were noodling.
Yeah. Like I grabbed the acoustic and I said, I really want this one to be like kind of this haunting, open, chord structure.
We lovingly called this one the Dashboard Confessional.
Yes, because it's very like most of the song I play, not touching a lot of the strings. So
right, you're really, because in the recording process,
yeah,
I showed you guys, that's a G shape, but also if you take those two fingers off, that's still a G chord. Because all that is allowed in the key of G.
Good.
So you can take that and then you can move that down there. You can slide it over here, and then if you want to throw in the D chord, you can.
Essentially, what we were looking at, and
but that's all we did with it. We really just used these two top strings. To do all that.
In about an hour or so, we kind of hatched out which chords we wanted where,
right.
And just kind of recorded. This one was mostly done, with the exception of after we got the MIDI. We kind of came back and added, the synth that you hear in the back.
Which, honestly,
and the bass, and that's about
this song needed all that stuff. Because it sounded fine with just the acoustic. And did we do any electric parts on this? Or was it strict? Oh.
There's no electric on this at all.
But, I mean, we sat down, and after recording Victory, we were like, I texted him, and I said, a bass line on Confession would absolutely be incredible.
It needed it.
And then we were just like, well, we have the MIDI here. And we were like kids in a candy shop. I was just sitting around playing with this thing.
There was so much new stuff that we could do with that. And I was like, man, we gotta
add something.
It can't,
and again,
because I think I went and I added like a pad to Back to Your House, and we were like, whoa, this changes everything.
It changes the entire song.
It feels so much bigger than it is.
Again, this song started with the bridge. Lord, I want to know your will, though sometimes it's hard to feel. But I know that you're still near. God, there's nothing left to fear. Because again, part of what I've struggled with in life is I've gone through seasons of depression, and I was just at work one day riding, cruising around to my appointments, and that bridge just kind of came to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, this song was born.
That's right. Again, probably it's obviously not in a minor, but it's the closest thing to like a dark sound that we have, which stands in really good contrast with the next song that we're going to talk about.
It really does. Honestly, which is the only way we can make this song darker is when Old Smokey is back from the spa.
Absolutely.
Seeing what it sounds like on Old Smokey.
And it kind of does have, it's such a contrast with the rest of the album,
Absolutely.
too, that I wanted it to be early on the EP so that we kind of end on a little bit of a different note.
The whole goal with all the songs that we kind of wrote on this EP was there's got to be something that makes each song stand out to be its own song.
Mm-hmm.
Back to Your House is the full band mix. It's the most produced one is the word I'm going to use. It's the one that, we kind of really took the time to fine-tune the songwriting process with.
Yeah.
Confession is the Dashboard Confessional.
Right.
It's the one that, when you're in that season of depression, when you're just questioning, saying, God, I don't know what's happening, but yet I'm still going to choose to trust you. That's what Confession is on this album.
That's right.
for.
And often, after you're in that place, is when you end up appreciating things so much better, and what kind of leads you a little bit into, our next song that is titled My Shepherd.
Which...
So probably the highlight of the album is that 3 seconds. Neither of
had
those voices,
the
by the
most-
way, is me.
No,
that's
all
two
me.
that
Yeah.
we had to record vocals multiple times, and so there's what I've actually called the bad vocal take,
Yes.
which is not an actual vocal take.
No.
That was had the purpose of recording guitar.
Yes.
and he's just singing to stay with the song.
Right.
Because the great thing about me being such a good musician is most of the time I have no idea where I'm at in the song. I know what key we're in. I know what I'm doing. I will either get too into it or too
Yes.
lost
Yes.
and just genuinely have no idea. And so the really cool thing about this song is I recorded the entire back half, really having no idea if I was in a chorus, bridge, anything. I
We
was
were
just going.
freestyling. We
I
were
was just
freestyling
playing
for sure.
Just music building, just song building,
Song building as we go, as the ad-lib
as-
intro says.
We're just song building as we go.
We're just song building this. This was I wrote this song, and then I text him because this song was written and recorded in the same day.
Right.
I
really-
had the chorus,
Studio time, maybe an hour and a half,
if that.
if that. This man got so excited about the different kind of sound. So he comes in, right?
Right.
And I was like, as I did with the first two songs, I said, A, what do you have so far? B, what vision do you have already for this to
And I
sound like?
said,
And he says, this is going to be more upbeat.
Yes.
This is like, this is the happy song in contrast. And I kind of want like a beach vibe. I said, say no more.
Yes,
I know exactly what you want.
absolutely.
So
And then we nailed it.
I grabbed the guitar, I grabbed the strap, 'cause that's what I
Stratocaster.
had, and I cranked the compression up to 1,000,000 because I knew I wanted a little bit of like a bluesy kind of sound to it, and then of course you get that kind of beach. I really wanted it to sound like I was playing steel drums almost on the lead electric too,
And
which is why I hit those
Yeah.
notes so.
And
quick.
honestly, listening to the guitar over and over again, it's just we nailed this song from the jump. Like legitimately, we thought we were done.
When
with
we
this
played
song.
it back the first time,
We were like,
said,
we're done.
Whoa, hold, we
don't even need to go back, yeah.
Exactly like we wanted it to sound like.
Yes.
So obviously, it's not the fully finished version. I learned a lot in between that and the final one that came out as far as mastering it. But as far as the actual guitar that's in there,
Right.
it was all recorded that night.
all recorded that
of it.
night. Vocals got a little bit of re-recording
Vocals
happened
got
to them.
they did,
But there was some issues, kind of just where things started, where things stopped, and then
Yeah.
also I mumble sometimes.
He
I'm not
does.
gonna lie.
He does.
I
He also
mumble
doesn't
sometimes.
have an inside voice, so we kind of have to, think about that in context of the song.
Yeah.
Clipping was a big thing we dealt with at the beginning, and we
Also-
had to figure that out.
All of this was done.
This was
after
done way
recording
later
it.
too.
Yeah,
This was part of the last process.
Again, we thought we had this song absolutely finished in like 45 minutes. Like,
Yeah. And for all intents and purposes, it could have been done.
it could have
back
been.
then.
It could have been.
That was what had us so excited that after that, Eric was so pumped up that he actually he PR'd on the bench.
I
After
did.
He said, "This
I
is
did.
my new anthem song."
Yep.
We're jamming. So that probably from those that we have shared our music with. That I think that's the one we've gotten the most like, hey, that's
Yes.
unique.
That
we like
one-
that song. That's funny.
that is definitely the one that people are going.
Yeah.
This is the most fun. This
the
is
beach
the most
vibes,
like, yeah.
especially if I give that context before and they go, oh yeah, that's the beach song.
100%.
That's the beach song.
You're playing
So-
this. You got a campfire going.
Right.
You're like you're either doing s'mores on the beach, which sand is.
Yeah, s'mores on the beach.
Or
Yeah.
or
Is that-
maybe you went fishing that day and you caught a couple of fish and
Is
you're like,
s'mores on the beach? Is that like cake by the ocean,
I'd have to ask Nick Jonas.
or is that two different things?
I would have to ask Nick Jonas.
Is he still a thing?
Was he the one? One of the Jonas brothers was in that band.
There's Nick, Joe.
Nick, Joe.
Who's the other one?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Joe Jonas, Nick Jonas. Isn't there three?
There are three.
And then there's the little brother that wasn't. He was way too young.
Well, I can't remember which one is which.
Nick, Joe.
But we'd have to ask them.
Nick is the one that went on to be in
I'm
the
gonna Google
movies.
it.
No, it's not Nick. Nick went on to like Jumanji and some of those movies. Nick was in that.
Was he?
I think it's the third one that we can't remember what his name is.
I'm looking it up.
What was that band? What are even their name? It's not Fun. That was. That's the We Are Young guys.
There are 4 Jonas Brothers?
Yeah. Well, the
What?
fourth one is the youngest one that he was way too young to be like.
Okay, so
anything.
the ones in the band, Kevin,
that's the one.
Jonas, Joe Jonas, and Nick Jonas.
I think it's Kevin. What was that band even called?
The Jonas Brothers?
No.
I mean, if you're talking about the people that wrote Cake by the Ocean, I want to say
Yeah.
it was like Dance or something like that.
Oh yeah, that's right. With a period. Yeah,
it was
dance
something-
period.
And they may have spelled it like
I think it, well,
with like a 4 in it or something. I don't know.
I think it was DANC. No. It was DANC. I don't even think they called it dance.
Yeah, it was something like that.
That's
But
a cool. That was an era of music that like the music was all garbage,
Yeah.
but it's kind of unforgettable. Yeah, that like
Yeah.
2016, 17, 18 range.
Honestly, everybody was kind of just producing the same sound. There was
Yeah.
real no variation. So
I feel like, yeah. You know, like when the band, the Fun, like when that was a thing. We are young.
yeah, dude, honestly, I like that band. I liked a few
What
of their
happened
songs.
to them? Nate Roos.
I don't know.
I feel like they won Grammys and then they pieced out and bought an island and just left society.
Either that or they OD'd on drugs. I don't know.
Another real possibility.
They could have.
Another real possibility. So don't make us too popular.
Yeah.
If you want to stay on the straight and narrow.
Yeah.
The last song is Victory.
And originally, we were not going to put this on the album.
And I said, hold up. Wait a minute.
We cooking.
It's way too good.
Yeah. Because, I mean, and this is honestly.
I said, hold up.
I said, hold up.
This has got it. We can't put out a 3-song.
And here's the fun part about this song. Had it more or less written in a day. And then had no intentions of doing any kind of recording that night. But because, we work out every Monday. Solid every Monday.
Supposed
we work
to be
out.
2
And
days a
then
week.
sometimes every Thursday.
Yeah.
It just depends.
You don't get these guns unless you stay consistent with
This
it,
is true.
to be honest.
This is true.
I know
body
the
is a
shirt
temple and workout.
looks really tight. It's not because it's small. It's because of the guns.
It's because of the guns. But we were just over here either post or pre-workout. I can't remember exactly which one. It may have been post. We may have been.
This one, it may have been post.
It could have been post
I remember
workout,
being
post
pretty
Papa
tired.
John's.
Yeah.
Could have been. Also, there was a really long time
You know
where our
what?
post workout meal was just straight up Papa John's.
I think it was post workout waiting for Papa John's because I think it's one of those ones where Papa John's was like took 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could
I
have
think
been the
that's what it
time
was.
that I
We
was
were
gonna leave them a
motivated.
cash tip.
Yeah.
And
so they
just took
thought they
forever.
weren't getting a tip,
Yeah.
and they said, we're not going to deliver
We're not going to take
pizza
our
at
we're not gonna-
11 p.m. for
Yeah.
not getting a tip.
So this guitar's sitting here, and I've got this, I've got the lyrics in front of me, so I'm like, I'll just noodle around with it for a second. And originally, I didn't.
Yes, because we were in the living
We
room.
were, and
when we did
originally,
it.
I didn't plan
What
for
was
this
I
to be
watching?
in the-
I was completely
You were watching football
enthralled
or
in something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
watching
probably.
football.
It was probably that. Because
But,
I just remember I'm watching what I'm watching. Chances are he's probably over there singing anyway. So I'm not really hearing what you're saying. But
is true.
I hear, the guitar of the Angels out there while I'm locked in. And I go, whoa, 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 whoa. I was like, whatever you're doing with that
He
melody,
really did.
that's what you need to do.
That's
Because he was sitting there trying to work the song out for, knowing that we were going to record it in the future. And I said, whatever you just did.
Yeah.
I remember saying this to you.
You did.
I said, whatever you just did.
He was
that's
dead
what you
staring
need
at
to
the
do.
TV, and then he said, "Whatever you just did sounded really good.
That's what you need to
we got to do
record.
that again."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I think I said, sing it just like that.
right. Because originally, I don't think I was working out verse melodies on that. I was just working on the chorus.
No, just the chorus.
and so
really
it's-
this part
and-
right here.
So the chorus started. I wanted to start on the C because I had really grown fond of the C to D transition.
Yeah.
So I was just trying to work that in there, but C to E minor just worked really well for a lot of that, and we just legitimately was just sitting there playing around with it, and then came up with this absolute heater of a melody.
Yeah, and I knew I kind of wanted to do that really like ethereal background guitar where I take the the dry mix, and it actually is non-existent. The dry mix is on 0. This is 100% reverb driven.
Yeah.
Where you're really just getting the tail, and
it sounds really pretty.
It really flows all together. Yeah. So this turned out, by far, this is the strongest written song.
In our opinion, this is the greatest song on the EP.
And that's kind of where it came from, where it was like, Eric was like, well, maybe we should release this later on its own thing, and have this be like leading up to the full album. And I was like, I think this ties together the entire EP,
and it really does.
Where it would be lacking a little without it.
It kind of brought the EP full circle.
Yeah,
it kind of really did.
It did.
Because Back to Your House is this. I have it in parentheses. Back to Your House, Repentance on my journal that I keep all the songs in.
Really? Oh, this is the first time hearing this. Okay,
right. I have it as Repentance because that is the song that says I'm going home. That's the song that says, God, I know I've messed up. That's the song that you play after confession.
Right.
Because confession is, like we said, it's the dashboard confessional. It's the song you sing when you say, I don't know what's going on, and I may have messed up, but whatever that sin may be, right? But that's the song you're singing, and then Back to Your House is the song after that says, I've made as the lyrics say in confession,
right.
I've made my prayer, I've made my request, and now I'm going home. Yep. Like I'm not going to stay out here in the world. I'm going to run back home. And then Victory and Shepherd are both proclamations of praise. Shepherd is definitely a more lighthearted one. It is one that is meant to, dance around with, get silly, have fun with, Absolutely.
Let's get a little silly,
Let's get a little silly.
Let's get a little silly.
And Victory is the song that you want to sing the same praise that you're singing with Shepherd, but you want it to be a little more intimate is the word I'm going to use.
Absolutely.
And it just turned out so well. Also, another fun fact about Victory. So in the songwriting process for all these songs, Dylan is really the main musician on these things. I play the acoustic guitar just where I can to add to it, but he's helping me big time come up with these melodies because I have it in my head and I can sing it, but as far as translating that to guitar on the spot, wasn't quite there yet. Victories where that really came into play.
It is.
I'm playing the cajon on Shepherd. That's right. One of my other musical contributions. But up to this point, up to the point of Victory, Dylan had really been doing all the heavy lifting on music.
I want to say, you've got a little bit of acoustic guitar in Back to Your House.
Yes.
And that's really it up to that point.
Yes.
And then the only thing that I do on Victory is way after the fact I added in that electric, which took me all of 10 minutes to do because it's just reverb.
It adds so much, though.
It does, but really that's to say that entire song.
Yeah.
That
was the song that Victory is the song that, not to try and brag, but that is the song that shows off my musical prowess and how far I've come.
It does.
Because
when we recorded Back to Your House, you weren't ready to record any of that.
No.
You could kind of play the chords and throw it together and all. But the time we did Victory, you took my attention away from football and I said, what is that? What was that? That sounded good.
So the fun fact about Victory recording is both audio tracks for that. Again, we have the bad vocal track. We have the good vocal track. The bad vocal track on that one actually recorded the guitar track for that one. Because the only way because we tried 2 or 3 times to get that song in time.
Yeah.
And because we were we can add drums and da-da-da-da-da.
So the cool thing about that is it's just not.
It's not.
There is no time.
There's no time.
There's no, obviously there's a time signature.
Right.
There's no click.
Right.
We just did it because.
There's kind of a click, but it doesn't.
It might as well be turned off halfway through.
We got it really close to in time for I think it was 98 beats per minute or something like that.
That's what's cool about this though is really kind of wrapping this up is we learned a ton from this.
We really did.
What I thought I knew about mixing and mastering amateurly, throw all that out the window. I learned so much more from that.
And for me, I take just a tinge of pride in it because again, it's the song
just
that I did the most musically on. There's a bass line in there that I was able to record because again, he did a really good job of making me memorize that pattern I told you guys earlier. And if you know that pattern on a 6-string, you know that pattern on a bass guitar. So I can play simple bass, but I really have to lock in and focus because I don't have the muscle memory to just slide up and down the fretboard yet. But, I mean, one day maybe.
It's coming.
It's coming. So that was the song that I got to do all that on. And it was just really cool. You know, that was the song that I stood up and recorded singing and playing at the same time.
Yeah.
And that's why that song's not in time.
Yeah.
Is because we tried, and then we just said, what if we just gave it a rip?
Right.
What if we just gave it a rip? And
I
then
remember
it turned out so good.
I was so pretentious on it because I was like, it's not in time. It's not in time. And I kept making them re-record it. And we're just like, it's just not happening. But we didn't want to give up on it. So we just said, let's just record it without it. And I have no problem with it.
Yeah. It worked out so well. And as we've gone on this musical journey and as we've upgraded, this MIDI did not come in until post-recording Victory.
Yeah, like a couple weeks before we put this
out. And it unlocks the ability for us to not have to worry so much about being in time.
Yep.
Because now we can make our own drum tracks. You know, we can do all the...
Your own beats.
We can do all that.
Your own
So
beats.
we can put it as in time or out of time as we want to put it. And it's really, really fun.
So I'm excited to see what we do with it because, you know, really the plan, once we get a full album, we're going to have a lot of these songs, you know, that are on the EP, if not all of them, and, you know, in a re-recorded state most likely. So we learned a lot from it. It's really close to the first music I've ever put out, you know, officially, first music Eric ever, you know, it's officially put out. And so that's really cool. That's kind of now under our belts. Can't wait to play these more live. We'll definitely be doing that at some point.
Again, going back to Victory, fun fact about Victory is if you look at Christ Church of Albany live streams, there's going to be one where
YouTube or
Facebook. Go to YouTube. It's a little bit easier to look.
And you can zoom in and you can see all this a little bit more close up.
But at Christ Church, there was a Sunday where, just real quick, who are we talking about?
So I don't want to make an assumption as to who you're talking about.
Right, but I'm asking.
I can speak from my experience with what, if you go back to the dawn of time, right? In my own, 1997 is when I was born. And you really look inward, you get introspective. I'm an analytical person.
He is.
And so I'm able to kind of look within, right? And I'm able to decipher this kind of stuff. A lot of people, I'm a pharmacist, a lot of people have ADHD. They sometimes get distracted. They can't really look inward and see that what I'm talking about is my king.
Yes. So,
who are we talking about?
That's my king.
So we said that was a terrible song, and that.
Hey, Cece, we love you, we really do, but we're just not fans of that song. I'm sorry.
I'm not.
It's not. It's not our favorite.
It's not so we scrapped that.
Yeah, we scrapped that because I mean we were there.
We said let's play a better song.
We did.
That song sucks.
That
let's do a
song was
good
on the
song.
schedule for like 3 weeks, and despite all the practice, it really is a jazz song that if you're used to playing any kind of written music in any kind of key, that song makes no sense. There's shapes and chords that should not be there.
Yeah. And so we said, let's actually let's put what's actually a good song in.
Right.
Yeah. Have you heard of Apartment 12?
Have you heard
we,
of Apartment 12?
We went to our worship. Have you heard of Apartment 12? They're a cool new band that's out.
Yeah.
They're this really good song.
Really good song.
This really good song.
It's fantastic.
It's called Victory. Hot new Well, it's not a single.
It's part of an EP.
But it is hot.
It is. But, you know, I jokingly said to Dylan, I was like, yeah, we should just pitch doing this song.
Yeah.
And then I
think we were having a Bible study on Friday, and we were just jamming out.
It was a Wednesday or a Thursday.
Was that a Wednesday?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Because then
I thought it wasn't until Friday, and then I was like, hey, can we
Anna
play our
confirmed
song
it on Friday.
Yeah.
Our worship leader, Anna Franklin, she confirmed it on Friday. But I jokingly texted her on like Thursday or Wednesday. I was like, hey, we have this song. We know how to play it.
That's
we
right.
could do it. And
we was like, we did know how to play it.
Let me think about it. And she was like, I just have to hear it first. So the same night, sent her the lyrics, sent her the song, and I was like, this is it. This is the whole song.
Yeah, and she was immediately like, yeah.
And she was like, she was on board. So that song has one live performance under it.
That's right. It actually, and as you can with the
pay
EP.
attention to that mix too hard. I was doing like 3 jobs that day.
No, you can hear me at the end for like 3 seconds, but I promise I'm playing the whole time.
He really is.
I really will. So YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. It's floating out there somewhere on Pandora and iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio is live.
It is
I
live.
got that email the other day.
It's Pandora. Watch out. May or may not be live.
May not be live.
Apple Music, Spotify. Apartment 12, Instagram at Apartment 12 Band.
Do we have an Instagram?
We have an Instagram.
It's
man. Followed by at least 3 people.
Praise God.
Let's pump those numbers up. Rookie numbers. So we're trying to pump those numbers up at Apartment 12 Band. And then we're gonna get a new version of Back to Your House out as a single.
Yes.
The original kind of acoustic take with that. So watch out for that.
It's been in the lab. We've been workshopping it.
Watch out for that too. So exciting stuff. We just want to give a little overview of the EP there. Who we got here?
That's that Auburn.
That's just Auburn. Who we got here?
I have no idea. I'm not an NBA guy.
Yeah. I've never watched a single minute of that guy play. But that's Nikola Jokic.
Okay, cool.
He's won MVP a couple times.
I don't know if she's going to be in frame.
Who we got? She is.
Oh, cool.
I made sure of that.
Sweet. So that's Caitlin Clark. Honestly, the only reason the NWA is worth watching. I said
NWA,
it, and
the rap
I will
group?
stand on it.
The rap group from Compton? NWA?
No. Women's National Basketball Association.
Yeah, he means the WNBA.
That's what I said.
You said NWA.
No, I may have.
Clip it. We'll go back and find it.
Straight out of Compton.
Yeah. I love women. And
We're feminist.
That's one of my favorite women.
She legitimately is the only reason the WNBA is worth watching.
That's right. She's
if
awesome.
you're one of those like Angel Reese supporters or literally any of the other ones, Angel Reese is the only other player I know.
What's the really tall one?
I don't know.
Oh, man.
Caitlin Clark is tall.
Well, no, this is Cameron Brink.
Ooh, listen. She's better. That's just facts.
She's the best.
Numbers don't lie, and you know what else don't lie? Ball don't lie.
That's right. Caitlin, I'm sorry. I did get your jersey off of Timu, so you didn't get any of the proceeds. But catch us at
we do
an
plan
Indiana
to go
Fever game
to
in
an
Atlanta.
Indiana Fever game when they play the Atlanta Dream or whatever they're called.
Yeah, I'm gonna be 100 with you. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know. Sky, Dream, something like that. I really only care about the Indiana Fever.
Correct.
So while Eric takes a much-needed break, as we all need to at some times, we've reached the portion where it's just you and I. And we're going to have a little conversation here. It's an important conversation that we need to have, something that every man realizes at some point in their life. You have to make a reality check, and you have to realize what is really a universal truth that everyone is going to conclude at some point. And that is, you have to realize and accept that chewy chocolate chip cookies from Chips Ahoy are better than the regular ones in the blue package. They just are. You may not want it. You may not want to accept that. You may say, oh, that's, there's no crunch to that. Or that doesn't take any work. Be a man. But they're better. And you know it. You may not accept it. That's okay. But what you realize is from a taste standpoint, you get so much more. It's already at that point where the flavor is just, it's just right there. You don't have to work for it. And you can throw down a whole family size, right? It's going to be a little bit more filling, but that's good because then you'll have to eat 2 of them.
Love that brand of football.
And then, he's back. We're having a really important conversation about cookies right now, and we can absolutely get your take on this. You know how chewy chocolate chip cookies from Chips Ahoy are better, and everybody knows it. They know it. Everybody who's listening. So, crumb situation. When you live on your own,
I like that in this podcast there's going to be able to, it just says,
when you've been a single man for a long time,
that sounds sad.
You learn the importance of, and we're working on that, by the way. You learn that we're actually both working on that.
Oh man,
Stuff is happening. Perchance. So What am I talking about? Oh yeah, so crumbs are a big deal. You also get less crumbs. You get less crumbs with that. So that's something I'm glad we were able to establish that.
I'm sorry, what are we talking about?
Chewy Chips Ahoy.
Oh, superior choice over classic.
See,
I mean, it's true.
He's accepted reality.
I accepted that reality a long time ago. Also, so we're on the vein of cookies.
Right.
Also, if you give us your answer down in the comments to this question. When you get a regular pack of cookies, right? And if you're a big boy like me, sometimes family size, right? Mm-hmm. It doesn't always happen, but sometimes it does.
It depends on what's BOGO at Publix.
Yeah. Do you eat the whole pack in one sitting, basically?
To be honest, no. Okay, there's two answers to that. I?
Keyword
yes.
Basically.
I would say the majority of the time, about two separate
in
days.
The same day?
No, not the same day. No. But can I? Yeah.
No, so here's the deal.
But I don't typically.
If it's a family size, yeah, that's going to take 2 sittings.
Yeah.
If it's a normal size, thing of cookies, like not family size, just like regular, that's 1 sitting. I'm eating the whole thing. The second I open that thing, it's gone.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Also,
it can happen.
We're on cookies. Are you dunking your chewy chocolate chip cookie in milk? See,
I'm not baptizing any cookies.
The only cookie I baptize in milk is an Oreo.
No. I don't even. You know what I do with the Oreo?
Do you split it in half and then?
I do the thing where I'm holding the Oreo right,
right,
and I just kind of I bite off the top cookie. And then, but I don't do the thing where I'm not licking the icing off of it.
Mm.
And then I throw the rest of it in after.
So,
so I get one, go through of just cookie,
chocolate chip cookie,
and then one go through of,
yeah.
Cookie with the icing.
Would you not then, try and fold the other half in on itself so you?
No, you get back in the crumb situation again with that.
But you're already. No, you're not in the crumb situation. I mean, you could be in the crumb situation.
If you folded the cookie, if you broke the remaining part in half, you could be in a crumb situation.
Would you not trust that the cream would catch the crumb?
No, I wouldn't. Because
fair enough.
The cream is not all encompassing.
Fair enough.
It's just on one half.
Yeah, this is true.
But I don't dunk. I don't want a soggy cookie.
Well, Oreos are the only cookie I dunk because I think Oreos taste.
Well, they're not real absorbent. So, I get it from a practical standpoint. Right. I understand it.
There's 2 schools of thought on this. Oreos, I feel like, are the only cookie that are made to be dunked. I feel like they're the only cookie that are made to be dunked. The way I do it, though, because I don't know if you've ever done this before, right? Like you're dunking some Oreos. Next thing you know, you got really milky, soggy, gross hands.
Right. Well, again, I don't do it. So do you?
So I do baptize them, but I've upgraded.
Wait, are you saying your fingers go in the milk?
Sometimes they do.
No.
So this is what's happened.
This is what I'm talking about.
No.
You introduced the opportunity for finger milk, and I don't want. That is so gross.
Stay with me.
You sick individual.
Stay with me.
Do you lick it off after?
No, because I've upgraded my dunk game.
Did you buy a thing that's meant to hold the Oreo? You know they make those, right?
No.
To hold the Oreo.
Yeah, it's called a fork.
Is that what that is?
No. I'm just saying. So I take a fork out of the kitchen cabinet, and you stab the cream, and it holds.
No,
and you just
it doesn't split.
It doesn't split.
Do you consume the whole cookie at once?
Absolutely. Down the gullet.
No,
that's how I do it.
And then you have to wash the whole fork after that.
It's better than having gross hands.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Would you rather have gross hands?
Yes. No.
Clip it.
I've gotten very confused about this. This whole thing is no.
What I'm saying is,
you used to put your fingers in the milk. How did you not have the self-control just to put 75% of the cookie and not the rest?
Do you see how big this meat hook is?
Well,
cut it.
Yeah.
Do you not see how big this hand of mine is?
All right. Okay.
It's kind of unavoidable when my hand is the size of most
self-control
drinking glasses.
No self-control. Zero.
You can say that I want to. That's why I upgraded my game. That way I could still fully baptize the Oreo without making a mess.
Oreos, great snack for Monday Night Football. It is Monday. On the pre-workout.
Also, the pre-workout, it's 8:15.
8:30 is typically when that happens.
Yes.
Monday Night Football tonight. It is Ravens, and the Chargers. Chargers that we're going to be seeing on
5 days.
Sunday. Warehouse Games has probably come out since
It has.
the last time we watched.
So there's one from Sunday. I know that.
Good.
And it's Levia's at Forgotten Rotten.
That's right.
Good.
That's a tough one.
That's a tough one. I'm not going to lie to you. I've already watched it.
Okay.
It's a one-inning special playoff
for the first time.
It is a really good watch.
Good.
It's going to be fun for you too.
I did no spoilers. I'm a huge Levius fan. Huge.
So really, we've determined. I introduced him to the Warehouse Games probably like 4 months ago.
Shout out Dalton Feely. Shout out Nikki Cass.
Nikki Cass, Dalton Feely, our two favorite players. The
Undoubtedly.
first thing that we really, the thing that got him into watching it was ball and play.
It was. That's the first thing we watched,
and that was the Levius. This was honest.
It was Dalton
I don't
Feely.
I don't want to like jinx it, but I think this could be the year of Levius.
They
played phenomenally in ball and play. They really came alive in the second half of the season, and then Peter Moylan put on a pitching masterclass, and then Nikki Cass came in behind him when he needed to.
And so then the first thing,
beautiful.
That event that I saw completely start to finish was floorball. And that was if you've seen it, that was an epic
floorball this year.
Incredible
was absolutely
start
insane.
to finish.
There were
and the Levies didn't even get they didn't play great.
They didn't play great. We love you, but you didn't play the best.
Not Dalton Feely though. He was an excellent for most of it.
Yeah,
at goalie.
But floorball was crazy. Multiple point disparities going into the last quarter or whatever they call it. Period. Going into the last period,
women were honestly the MVPs.
They really were. I think it was Lisa Herford. She was absolutely phenomenal.
Tore it up.
I personally, I think she was robbed of MVP. I don't think Luke DeVersa should have got it.
I agree.
I think she should have. She was putting pressure on the enemy team. She was getting plenty of shots on goals, and she was super aggressive, which is what you needed. That's what you needed, right?
Yep. Game changer.
Luke DeVersa, he was the goalie for Forgotten Rotten. Lisa Herford, Luke DeVersa on the same team, Forgotten Rotten and Floorball. Luke DeVersa was honestly the best goalie of the season. He really was. He just got shut out at the end. He got absolutely owned by Tyler, I forget his last name, on hook, line, sinkers.
Yeah. And Poof played though, right, for Rotten and Floorball? Yeah.
Trevor Plouffe, yeah.
And I mean, he was also pretty good.
He was good. Forgotten Rotten was really good, but
I'm going to go as far as saying I'm going to probably assume the Levies lost against Plouffe, but I really hope not.
It was a nail-biting finale between hook, line, sinkers and Forgotten Rotten for Floorball 3,
awesome.
and it came down to basically 6 overtime shootout is essentially what it came down to.
And so it took all of that and a couple floorball and now everything that we've been seeing in blitzball. For me to be completely on board.
Camera, there is a blitzball strike zone in the corner over there because we've really gotten into playing blitzball ourselves. It's fun.
It's awesome. I'm learning the pitches. I did not grow up playing baseball, so a lot of it is new for me as well. But that's all it took for me to be a Levius fan for life. They're
one of the most fun teams to watch.
Oh yeah.
Also, and again the playoff, one inning playoff that we're going to watch after the workout tonight is, some would say, controversial.
All right.
And
I love a good controversy.
Some would say explosive.
Auburn had a big controversy on some pass interference calls. If you saw the quadruple overtime Auburn win on Saturday night against Texas A&M.
This is
number
the year
15
that I went
at
to
home.
my first college football game, and it was an Auburn game.
You did. We went to Auburn.
And it was Auburn. It was Vanderbilt at Auburn, and honestly,
and we got robbed. Auburn got robbed big time.
Auburn got robbed. Still would have lost in the end.
Yeah,
but would not have been as bad.
Hedging.
It was the referees gave Vanderbilt 50 yards on that last.
They tried to do it again.
Drive.
So they called Auburn for a horrible pass interference on Rivaldo Fairweather that was not one. One of the worst calls I've ever seen. But luckily we come back.
It was pretty bad.
I'm just saying it was one of the worst calls I've ever seen. It was a tremendous game.
It was
a
horrible call. I'd be one of those people.
Those referees are fake news. Fake news. The fake news media. They wanted to take away our win, but they can't keep us down. And Hugh Freeze is going to make Auburn great again.
It was actually crazy. I mean,
Yeah,
there were
yeah.
like 3 missed holding calls on Vanderbilt that
Yeah.
drive.
Yeah.
There was an offensive pass interference call missed on that drive. It was wild.
Absolutely. So referees, send some of that money our way,
Absolutely.
and we'll get some we'll get some more equipment.
I bet you they didn't get paid, but hey, if they also want to make a new car appear in my driveway, then I'm okay with that.
Yeah. That would be great. That'd be great. If you want to go ahead and finance my Tesla that I don't have yet, that's coming.
If you guys want to fund my guitar addiction, there's about 2 really, really expensive
Yeah,
ones.
sorry
that I
about
want.
that. Your paychecks have been real light lately, ever since we went down this road. So, some life changing stuff. So,
okay.
yeah.
One more. I think there's one more topic we do need to debate,
Okay,
and that is
we can't end it yet. This is we have to.
we have to. We have about 5 minutes that we
have to.
We really need to get into this.
Okay.
Where is your wallet, key, and phone going in your pockets? Because for me personally, I am a keys on the right front pocket, wallet on
Keys
the
on the right. You're right-handed,
front
aren't you?
pocket. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Wallet on the left front pocket.
In the front.
In the front.
Is that we're over? This is over 2
And
hours.
then if I'm walking
No.
around, wallet's in the left back pocket. The second I go to sit down or something like that, I'm just throwing my phone on the table.
No.
Yeah.
Where's your phone when you're walking around?
It's in my left back pocket. If I'm sitting down, it's on the table.
There's only
somewhere.
one. There's one correct answer
There's
for where
really
all this
not.
goes.
There's really not.
Which, if you're right-handed, that means your phone is in your front right pocket.
No.
Your
You
keys
see, I'm not so addicted to
are
my
in your
phone
front
that it
left
has
pocket?
to be in my right front pocket.
When you are in tune with society,
Sure.
and you really know how to speak to people,
Sure.
and you have,
Sure.
your phone is just blowing up 24/7
Sure.
with women. You got to keep it in your front right pocket.
No.
And then your wallet goes in your back right pocket. And nothing goes in your back left pocket.
No.
Maybe a guitar pick.
No.
Because, I'll tell you why.
Where are your keys at?
Front left pocket. So I've got access to the keys.
Yeah.
I've got access to the phone.
Yeah.
I've got access to the wallet. Nothing's getting in the way. It's not the end of the world if I sit on the wallet. It's the end of the world if I sit on the phone.
It's really not that. So here's the deal, right?
It's the end of the world for the phone and your butt.
So here's the deal, right? Nobody. What kind of wallet are you using right now?
I am rocking a wallet that I got from Vossier Jewelry Company. I bought 2 pieces.
Is it a bifold? Is it a thin wallet?
It is a thin leather
Okay.
that has no padding whatsoever. It's just credit card sized leather. It just slips in there, and it's got a little clip thing, little click thing.
Okay.
Like a button.
I am rocking as well a thin line wallet.
Is it a Ridge wallet?
It's not a Ridge wallet. I forget the name of the wallet itself. All I remember is that it's RFID blocking.
Okay. See, I'm prone. I'm currently prone to RFID stealing.
You should get on that.
I'm prone.
You should get on that. So
I'm not prone to surges, but I'm prone to my RFID being stolen.
So that wallet is super thin. So if I am in a situation where I need to phone in the front pocket, I can always double up on the pocket and have my phone and my wallet in the same pocket. Because
now,
essentially at that point, it would be like I had an old bifold
phone,
wallet. Because we all remember when we were children, and Dad would go to pay for something, he'd whip out that like cinder block that he called a wallet.
As a former child, I do remember that. It was like that thick.
It was. He pulled out a small book.
And there was cash in it.
Yeah. I have cash right now, actually.
I don't carry cash. That way when I get mugged, I just say, sorry, bro. You know the thing about muggers these days though?
Yeah.
They ask for your Venmo and stuff.
But
yeah, you can't just say I don't have cash. They're all online now.
So here's the I didn't have a Venmo until I got into youth ministry.
They hold the knife to you and they say, cash at me $50 right now or I'm going to stab you. Send it to my Venmo at stab you for your money.
Stab you for your money.
Yep.
Am I octave? No, that's the normal octave.
Beautiful.
Thank you.